This is Swiss and Chips, your British guide to Switzerland. Hello and welcome to Swiss and Chips. I'm Jo.
And I'm Simon.
And today we're talking about hiking because it is the favourite national pastime of the Swiss.
Yep, it's autumn and autumn is hiking time.
Are you into hiking? You're Swiss. That must mean it's your favourite thing to do.
Favorite, maybe not, but it's not summer anymore, so it's not too hot, and it's not winter, so you can't go skiing. And there is this in-between time, and very often the weather is great in between, so people go hiking.
Yeah, it's kind of that perfect time to get outdoors and go for a kind of long walk somewhere.
Mushrooming.
Yeah. But today we're just talking about hiking. We're going to tell you how to prepare, we're going to tell you what the signs mean, and we're going to answer a very important question. Can I hike up a mountain?
Exactly, but first of all, we want to apologize. And that's because...
we are making this podcast a few days later than we normally do. We will try and stick to our regular schedule, but it doesn't always work out, but we try.
We were bragging at the beginning that we do it every other week, and you will find it every other week in your inbox, but this didn't really work out, but we tried to stick with it.
And it didn't work out because we were up a mountain last weekend when we should have been making the podcast.
We have planned it very well, but then we were quite tired coming home, so... But you will hear all about it right now.
Exactly. So, if you're thinking about heading out on a hike, there are a few things you should do beforehand to prepare.
Yes.
First of all, you should look up a route.
Yes, otherwise it would be stupid.
It would be, yeah. No, but I mean, you could just be out and about and then see a sign and be like, hey, I'm going to go on a hike. But probably better if you plan it beforehand.
I mean, maybe we should differentiate between a short walk and an actual hike.
Yeah.
Short walk, yes, you can walk into town, for example. But then a hike is more like a longer walk, really a planned excursion.
Exactly. And probably outside of a town. On a path.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to have a look beforehand because you also want to look what you can expect. Is it nice views and so on?
Exactly. And I think one of the most useful things to look at when you're planning your hike is we'll post some links where you can find suggestions for hikes online, for example. But I think you don't just want to look at the length of time it's going to take. You might look and say, oh, okay, 1.5 hours, I can do that. Or 4 hours, that sounds perfect. But also the height difference is a big factor because that really makes a difference between an easy walk or a really difficult one.
Yes, there is basically the height difference. You look at the time, how long it takes, and from where to where, because usually it's a from to and not really a circle walk. So you want to maybe go, is it close to a train or a bus station? And then the main and most important thing is basically how difficult is the walk.
Exactly, yeah. And I think after you've been a few times, on like an easy walk or a medium walk, then you start to get a feel for what exactly easy or medium means. Then you know where you're at.
Yes, and there is the most famous Swiss hiking maps. We will link them in our show notes. It's from the admin, from the Bundesamt, and they also make printed versions. So
that's the federal administration.
Yeah, and they're super expensive, but they're really nice.
Yeah.
And but you find everything online. You'll find also there's also an app, but it's really not so great. But it works. I mean, it doesn't look great and looks quite eye cancery, but
old school.
Yeah, but,
we could say.
But it works. So, and this other app, you can see the hikes, where you can go, where you can walk. It also has the biking routes for cycling and for mountain biking, and they have also other stuff included. What was it? I think rollerblading.
And the thing with the sticks. Arctic walking or something it's called.
Excuse me?
When you have the two sticks and it's fast walking.
Yeah, walking.
It's not Arctic walking.
Yeah.
What is
just
that
walking.
Called?
Power walking.
Power walking, yeah.
And rollerblading and canoeing, and I think that.
Okay, but today we'll stick to hiking, I think.
Yeah.
The rollerblading episode will come in about 2 years' time when we've figured out how to do that.
No, but just just to say it again, you find there all the walks, and if you zoom in, there are tons of walks, really like tons of walks and finished walking routes, and it's all really well signed with numbers and so on, and you can combine them. You will find it out if you look it up. And then basically you differentiate between 3 difficulty levels, which is normal walk, or then a mountain walk, or an alpine walk.
Yes.
And the normal walk is normal walk, and mountain walk is what we did. We talk about it afterwards, and the alpine walk is really for advanced users. So don't go straight away there. Just build yourself up.
Yes, exactly. The other thing to think about before you set off is the kind of things that you're going to have to take with you. And I think if you're just going on a normal walk, you're not up in the mountains, you probably don't need to prepare that much. It depends how long the walk is. You might want to take a drink or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you're going up into mountains, you want to be a little bit more prepared. And I would say things that you should do beforehand is check the weather.
Yes, definitely. And the higher you go and the more in the mountains you are, the weather can really, really, really change very quickly.
Yeah. And although the walk might be quite easy, if you're up there on maybe like a kind of slender walking path, everything's going great, and suddenly the weather changes, that can turn from happy stroll to like panic situation.
Yeah, when the fog is coming and you can't see much, that can be dangerous, yes.
So check the weather. And we'll put a link for where you can do that. I think the other thing that's really important is pick your footwear carefully.
Yes,
totally. You don't have to wear kind of super heavy, clunky, big boots if you're going on one of the kind of mountainous trails. But it depends what you're doing.
Yes.
The
heavy boots are really for like loose stones that you don't
twist your ankle.
Exactly. But they are obviously very good, but they're also heavy. So for normal walks and so on, it's totally not necessary. I think what is very trendy are these hiking, trail running shoes.
Yeah, that have like good grip.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
so heavy.
But we have tons of shops in Switzerland where you can go and ask them about it.
Tell them what you're doing, and then they can give you a recommendation.
Exactly.
Just probably don't wear flip-flops unless it's a gentle stroll, 50 meters long.
Yes.
Yeah, take supplies, take something to eat, take some drinks.
Yeah, sun cream. The higher you go, put sun cream on.
Whack it on.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but just to mention again about this trail routes and so on, I think it's quite well, the signals are really good.
The signage.
Yeah, with these yellow things, but there are also others, aren't there?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're going on just a normal walking path, you will find a yellow signpost, and it'll have the name of the place where you're hopefully walking to. If not, you're going in the wrong direction.
Yes, and usually there is a time, how long it takes.
Exactly.
And it's measured.
It's an average.
Like military walk.
Oh, it's a military walk, is it?
Yeah, so it's like 6-7 kilometers per hour or something.
I always thought
that.
they based it on, the granny rate.
No.
It's like how long would it take a vaguely old person to walk?
It's a brief walk. Yeah.
Brisk.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not fast, but walk, not stroll.
Yeah. Okay. And it's also not including breaks. Don't forget. That might seem obvious, but it's literally like if you start off now, this is how long it would take if you keep going.
It's walking time. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So those are the yellow ones. And then once you get up into the mountains, where the terrain could be a little bit more difficult, there'll be bigger differences in height probably. It's a yellow signpost with a red and white stripy tip.
Yes,
that means you're on a mountainous trail.
They're often also on a stone or somewhere, like painted on
there's a signpost, and then as you go along, you'll also see the red and white stripes painted onto like trees or rocks, which means you're on track.
Exactly.
So that's pretty nice.
Just watch out for it, and it's very well done, but you just have to watch out for it a little bit if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. And then you've got the next level up, which is the blue signpost with a blue and white stripy tip, and this means you're on an alpine trail. It's going to be quite challenging. You could be going over rocks or glaciers. You'll need experience and knowledge of this kind of hiking. You're going to be, need to be sure-footedness and have a head for heights as well. So that's not just something you'll just wake up and do one day.
Yes, definitely. I would recommend not doing at all alone the first time. Basically just, you there are mountain guides. You could ask someone like that, or maybe friends of yours. Or
There's also a really good Facebook group, not ours this time, although you could ask in ours if someone wants to go with you.
Yeah.
But there is an Outdoors in Switzerland Facebook group for people who go on these things all the time.
Yes.
So I think that's a pretty good idea, actually. So, bearing all of this in mind, I happen to know an experienced person who's walked in the mountains quite a few times.
Exactly, but one important thing we forgot. Yes, bring water and supplies, but bring a Swiss picnic. That seems obvious.
Yes.
Yeah, we made an episode about Swiss picnic, I think,
we
somewhere.
Did,
you can look for it.
It was one of the early ones.
Yeah, that's a must bring.
Yeah, totally. Full of the perfect snacks for your trip.
And we brought that to our trip.
Yeah, we did. Of course.
Yeah.
So, last weekend, when we weren't making the podcast, we were heading up a mountain.
Yes, that's where our differentiation begins.
Oh, hang on.
our differences. It was I wouldn't directly call it is a mountain.
It's a mountain.
But it's just, no climbing. Without climbing, is it really a mountain?
Well, yes.
Okay.
So this is the thing. I never thought I would make it to the top of a mountain on foot because I thought, well, you've got to climb. But no, you can head to the top of a mountain without actually climbing. And this is what we did last weekend.
Yes.
We went to the Bunderspitz.
Exactly.
In Adelboden.
Exactly.
And
it's basically it's a mountain, but you can walk all the way up. You maybe can't really take a baby roller thing.
Pushchair.
Yes, but
it's an off-road experience.
Yes, it's good if you're a bit at the very top. The path is not very wide, and left and right is steep.
Yeah, steep drops.
Yeah, so it's good if you are, if you can make it like.
If you're not scared of heights.
Exactly.
Then,
but good. It's not difficult or something.
No.
It's just, the only difficulty is that it's quite stony and...
Yeah, there are kind of some loose stones.
Yeah,
the path is narrowish and it's
very
quite
steep. And and it's a long walk. I mean, to go and back, it took us quite a while.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours going up and same-ish coming down, I think.
Yes, doing halfway with the car. So I would say...
What height did we start at?
I think if you...
Do you know?
No, maybe 1,700, 1,600 maybe.
And it's 2,500 and something at the top?
Yes, don't know. Great, thanks for asking me that. No, anyway, it's high. And but if you can totally... take the bus to Adelboden and then walk from there to the top. And you can also walk then to Kandersteg. It's another village. So you basically cross over the mountain and go down on the other side. Or you come back to the same village to Adelboden. It's also nice. And that maybe something takes like 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that. So it's really a whole day trip. But the way we did was going up by car, like halfway, and then we walked from there. And going and back was maybe a 3 hours walk, but only walking time. And then including the breaks is a bit more. So
yeah, and the good thing about this trip is that there are loads of places where you can stop in between, basically.
Yeah,
there's loads of like grass or rocks to sit on.
Yes,
or
totally.
Kind of, it's not like once you're going, you've got to keep going. You can have loads of breaks.
Yeah.
So that's good, yeah. The mountain is 2,546 meters tall.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
I had it in my head, it was slightly taller.
Yes. So yeah, it was quite, it was really nice. A nice view. We'll put some picture in the show notes so you can have a look. And on the top there was a surprise waiting,
That
wasn't
certainly
there?
was, yeah. The top was basically, I don't know, it's difficult to know what it would be like up there. But it was quite windy, but not as windy as I expected it to be. If you consider you're standing on a kind of smallish space, there was about 4 other people up there who were sitting. It was quite kind of rocky. And, you basically have a panoramic view all around you there. You can see mountains 360 degrees. And there's a cross on top, which there are on top of all of the mountains in Switzerland. And then
Not all. Are they on all of the mountains? On many. Yes.
I mean, I've only been on one.
And
it was there.
They're not on all the crosses.
Okay, it's on many.
Yeah, maybe. I've seen it on one, so.
All right, so it was on this one. And
I'm sure there is on several. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah,
But
but there's a big pile of stones.
yeah, the Stone Man.
The stone man. And the Swiss German word for that is...
Stemmendli.
Stemmandli. And then if you lift off one of these stones from that pile that's at the very top of the mountain, inside you find a tin, a Swiss Army tin.
Yes.
And if you pull that out and take off the lid, you find something inside.
A book
And inside the book
is an envelope. Inside the envelope is a...
There's no envelope. What's
Okay.
inside the book?
It's another little book. And if you open that book, there is an even tinier envelope.
No, but there's
And
a
if
book
you-
inside,
okay.
which is called...
The Gipfelbuch.
Yeah, the
The-
summit book.
Yes.
The peak book.
Yes.
And what do you do with that?
Well, basically on all of the mountains there is this stone thing like you explained. The tin box from the military, maybe just to say, that's usually for to eat or drink. You put eat or food or water inside and you cook this on the fire. But it's also water sealed.
Yeah.
So that's why it's in this tin box. And the book is then also inside a plastic thing so it doesn't get wet, and there is usually a few pens inside. And the book will be replaced as soon as it's full from mountain guides. And inside the book you can write your name. You write the date, the name, and you can write the note. Basically it's like a guest book.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting because if you're on the top, you might have a look who else was climbing that mountain.
Yeah, and what
or
did they write?
What did they write? Where
That was
did they
really
come
cool.
from? And so on. So
Yeah, and all sorts of people write
Yeah.
in there. We found people from like the UK, people writing in German, people writing in Dutch.
yes, exactly.
really fun.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. And then it's just a tradition, basically.
Yeah, love it. So we're up there. It's windy, probably one of the windiest sandwiches I've ever eaten, apart from on Brighton Beach on a winter's day.
Yes, less seagulls, but
Yeah, there weren't many seagulls, although there were some birds.
and take also
Binoculars.
binoculars
Yeah.
with you. So
On the way down, we stopped just at a slightly lower point, which is a kind of nice flat area where you have really great view. And we were looking to see if we could see some wildlife there. We didn't really spot anything. There was a dog, but we didn't
yeah,
need the
usually you
binoculars
can
to see
see
that.
a few things, but and so basically that's like a medium, easy to medium,
I would call it medium to hard.
mountain walk.
Yeah.
I mean, for hiking it's maybe hard, but for climbing it's
It's on the easy scale
Yes.
of the climbing.
so. And I think it's really nice. So as long as the weather is good, it's usually September, October, maybe sometimes even until November, and you should really go as
Yeah.
long as there is no snow.
Exactly. If there's snow, it's going to get a bit tricky, so I wouldn't recommend that.
Yes, true. And but you don't have to get up so high. There's also, if you get up on higher places like Adelboden, you don't have to climb a mountain. There are also tons of other nice walking paths. I really recommend to have a look at this app and then just follow an easy one for the first time and then build yourself up until
Yeah, totally.
to the Matterhorn. Maybe take the helicopter or something.
Yeah, take the train.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that was our mountain adventure. If you've been on any good hikes that you think are suitable for beginners, for example, or a really nice one that was kind of unusual, would be really nice if you tell us about it in our Facebook group. It's called Switzerland for English Speakers. So tell us about your hikes, where you've been. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, and also we are on Twitter. I think that's the easiest way to connect directly with us. And you find the links in our show notes to our Twitter handles, because if I have to spell my name now out loud, it's too complicated. But we are really always happy to hear from you directly. So if you want to say something, if you want to give us a recommendation or a topic we should talk about, just let us know.
Yes, exactly. Brilliant. All right.
So we hope to be back in 2 weeks.
Yes, we will.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.